Hi there, it's me, Ben. Happy spooky season, everybody. Spooky season. As we all know, many things have been canceled in light of this ongoing pandemic. Weddings, concerts, Lady Gaga concerts, theater, I mean, you name it, it's been canceled. But I think we can all agree that the biggest loss here is that unfortunately this year, there will be no Monster Movie Mayhem. I know, it hurts. Now, if you have no idea what Monster Movie Mayhem is, let me give you a quick summary. So it's an entire day filled with Halloween-themed movies that get progressively scarier as the day goes on. So like we normally start out with like a Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge, Halloween Town High, Paranorman, something like that. And then we gradually go through movies until we get to see something that is truly spooky and scary. Now, the movies are divided up into little categories along the way, and then you vote on whichever movie in each category you want to watch at that specific time. So only people who are in the room can vote, and then majority rules. There's no sort of like electoral college bullshit where like things get screwed up. It's like whoever wins the popular vote. It's fine. So for example, we'd have a category that's like scary movie musicals, and it would be like Rocky Horror Picture Show versus Little Shop of Horrors versus Anna and the Apocalypse. And then we all vote. It's a lot of fun. It's also a potluck style event where everybody just kind of brings food and kind of comes and goes throughout the day based on like their own schedule so that you can kind of pick and choose when you want to be there. And then normally by like 6:30 p.m., everybody who's there wants protein and vegetables because everybody else so far has just brought apple cider donuts. And unfortunately, we're not going to be having it this year. Thanks a lot, COVID. So, in the absence of an official Monster Movie Mayhem, I have decided to release this video, which is my top 10 list of favorite scary movies of all time. Let's get started and see what they are. Okay, coming in at number 10 is an oldie but a goodie, Child's Play. Now, I do preface this with saying that I didn't waste my time with all the sequels and the Jennifer Tilly nonsense. Now, the reason Child's Play is on my list is because the whole, like, horror trope of, like, a possessed doll is done so often, and a lot of people get it wrong. I do, however, like some of the Annabelle movies. Chucky did it right. Now, I also want to take this time to say that the movie is called Child's Play. It is not called Chucky. Just because his name is Chucky doesn't mean that's what the movie's called. Don't forget it. Get it right. Public service announcement. So you've got the mom from Seventh Heaven giving us life. We love you, Annie Camden. And Happy as Happy, Seventh Heaven. And specifically, the scene where she takes Chucky's box and the batteries fall out of it, and she like realizes that he's been operating this whole time without batteries, and she's like, what the fuck is going on? It's so good. Such a classic scene. Such a classic movie. Next up, we have The Shining. Oh my gosh, I love it. So many reasons. One, the book is fantastic, and even though there are a couple big differences between the book and the movie, it's got a lot of similarities, and overall I think holds up as a really great book-to-movie adaptation. Also, you've got the amazing talent of Stanley Kubrick, and the fact that like he and Stephen King kind of hated each other, I think like really adds a lot to the movie in a weird way. I don't know what else to say. It's a visual masterpiece. The performances of Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall, incredible. Tens across the board. P.S. I also really liked Dr. Sleep, both the movie and the book. You should definitely check those out as well. All right, number 8 goes to The Exorcist. How can it not be on your list of top 10? This is such an important movie for this genre for so many different reasons, and I feel like you can't say you like scary movies and not have seen The Exorcist. You don't have to like The Exorcist, but you have to see it, especially if you like movies about like possessions or exorcisms, like The Last Exorcism, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, The Devil Inside. All these movies are doing that same thing, but none of them still, to this day, compare to The Exorcist. And then you've got people like my mom, who saw it when they were way too young, while attending Catholic school no less, and it really fucked them up. I mean, like, my mom's fine, but she can't, like, see a clip of this movie or, like, even a still image of this movie without losing sleep over it. And now, if you are my mom and you are watching, close your eyes for a second, because I am going to show a clip from the movie.
God, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit, who lives and reigns with the Father and the Holy Spirit. Damien!
Okay, Mom, you can open your eyes now. All right, number 7 does not go to the movie 7, although I do agree that would have been perfect. But instead, it goes to Paranormal Activity. I will never forget when I first saw this movie, and my friends and I were walking into a showing of it the weekend it opened, and other friends of ours were coming out, and we were like, "Hey, what'd you see?" And they were like dazed and confused, and they were like, "Paranormal Activity," and we were like, "Oh, cool, we're seeing that now," and they were like, "Don't see it." It was so great. Also, the fact that there was virtually no press, at least that I saw at the time, and there was no intro to the movie. I don't even think when I saw it there were even previews in the movie. It just started and then it ended. No credits, no nothing. It felt like found footage, and the slow, excruciating build-up throughout the movie is so painful. The second movie was also really, really good, and the trope of using the house security cams, and then that scene with the cabinets. It's so scary. And even the third one was really good, where the sisters are younger at that point and they use the oscillating fan camera the whole time. So much fun. Those movies are a lot of fun, and it definitely belongs on my top 10 list. All right, number 6 is The Conjuring. Based on a true story, I'm hooked. The real Ed and Lorraine Warren are creepy sons of bitches, and it just adds to the movie that these people are real people who actually were paranormal investigators. And come on, Vera Farmiga, yes please. That other girl, absolutely. Those two guys, bring them on. I do have to mention that clapping game that they play is only a game you can play if you live in an old house and your family is in danger of becoming possessed. Rich white kids in the suburbs don't run around blindfolded clapping in closets and shit like that. They play their Xbox. The sequel was actually pretty scary too. Maybe calm down on all these spin-offs and the Conjuring universe, but at the same time, I will see them. Okay, here we are at number 5, everybody. The Blair Witch Project. It got a shit ton of pop culture treatment, with so many people parodying the up-close, runny-nose, handheld footage and everything like that. It was all funny, yes, but seeing that movie, and especially the first time you see it, it was scary. You're watching these people lose their minds and go absolutely insane, and it's so much fun to watch, which I know sounds morbid, but you know what I mean. This movie is also a perfect example of the less you see, the scarier it is. If they had shown you a physical formation of the witch, it would have absolutely lost all effect, whether it was CGI, whether it was just an actress in the shadows out in the woods or something like that. It would have ruined it completely. Also, the beginning with all the old people or townspeople, whatever they are, talking about the Blair Witch, those are not actors. Those are real people, and they are scary as hell. Number 4 is the classic Halloween, with a slight mention of the 2007 Rob Zombie remake of the original movie. Now, before I get in trouble for including both of those movies together, I do have to say that I really enjoyed that movie. I liked that it showed this weird side of Michael Myers as a creepy little kid, and you kind of sided with him the whole time. You were like, do what you gotta do, Mikey. And I think that's one of the reasons why so many people didn't like the movie, but I liked it. I like Rob Zombie movies. They're gross, they're disgusting. You have to take a shower afterwards. Now, the original cannot be beat, of course. It is an absolute classic, and the score to that movie alone is enough to send chills down your spine. Listen, if it's October, you watch Halloween. That's just what you do. Ooh, here we are at the top 3, baby. Who's it gonna be? Number 3 for me is Insidious. Man, when it came out, I was in college, and my friends and I watched and rewatched the shit out of that movie. We knew everything about that movie from start to finish. My dear friend Justin and I still say the phrase "speak to an agent" on the regular, which is such an insignificant and unimportant part of that movie, but because we rewatched it 7,000 times, it's ingrained in our lives. You've got the lipstick-faced demon, Rose Byrne, Patrick Wilson, the old woman, those 2 funny guys, and of course you've got Dalton, who must be checked on at all times. Also, you cannot listen to that Tiptoes Through the Tulips song anymore without being horrified. That scene is so terrifying. Plus, of course, you have the classic line,
"It's not the house that's haunted, it's your son."
It has one of the biggest jump scares, I think, in all scary movies that still to this day gives me heart palpitations just thinking about it. Now, number 2 is more than one movie. It is the entire Scream franchise. Why is it number 2, you may ask? Because it's Scream. Firstly, Courtney Cox as Gale Weathers is probably my dream role. It's a classic slasher movie, and the cast is incredible. You've got Laurie Metcalf, Skeet Ulrich, Matthew Lillard, Jerry O'Connell, Timothy Olyphant, Jada Pinkett Smith, Jamie Kennedy, McDreamy, Scott Foley, and Neve Campbell. And don't even get me started on my second favorite character in the entire franchise, Parker Posey as Jennifer as Gale Weathers.
What the hell are you doing? Being Gale Weathers. What the hell are you doing? I am Gale Weathers.
Ooh, and talk about plot. It is a dense plot, let me tell you. And also, where's the prequel all about Maureen Prescott? Just saying. I'd love to see it. Love to see it. But like, honestly, I don't care if Scream 5, for no apparent reason, has the entire cast of Friends. I'm here for it. I don't care if Sydney prevails. I'm here for it. They better not kill Gale Weathers. I would be devastated, but at the same time, I don't care. I'm excited for Scream 5. Whew, I'm sweating. Okay, last but not least, my number 1 favorite scary movie has to be The Strangers. That's right, you may have guessed it if you know me really well, or if you've been to Monster Movie Mayhem before. I adore this movie. It's one of those movies that if I hear that you haven't seen it, I will do everything in my power to convince you to watch it. It's based in reality, and it's pointless.
Why are you doing this to us?
Because you were home. That's such a chilling thing that the reason these people are doing this crazy stuff has no basis on who these people are. You can just be at home having a nice evening to yourselves and then get fucking murdered. You also have the fact that this movie starts right in the middle of some very, complex dynamics between our 2 main characters. But the best part is, they do not waste time with backstory and explaining that to you. It's just this added element and layer that adds so much to the whole movie. I do have one question. Will we ever find out who Tamara is? Because these 3 people are looking for her and they're gonna kill the shit out of her. Hashtag warn Tamara. Anyway, this is my number 1, and for the first few years of Monster Movie Mayhem, I ended every Monster Movie Mayhem with The Strangers. No voting, you just had to watch The Strangers because it's that good, and that's why I'm ending my list with this movie. Okay, are there a ton more movies that I absolutely love? Of course. And did I leave some out? Absolutely. But these are my top 10 right now, and if you know me at all, you know that I love these movies whether they're bad or good, and this is constantly changing. I just love devouring movies from this genre. If you're able to watch one or maybe even more of the movies I just mentioned, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your opinion or what your top 10 favorite scary movies are. It is hashtag spooky season. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Stay spooky. Happy Halloween.